TTT THROWDOWN!
On this week's Throwdown, we have a great group of athletes demo the workout.
We've got a 20-minute AMRAP of 20 toes to bar, 20 alternating dumbbell snatches, 20 box jumps, 20 dumbbell clean and jerks, and a 200-meter run.
And we release these workouts right here on YouTube every Thursday at 1.
For a warm-up, movement standards, and a scaled version of this workout, look in the link down below.
Let's see it.
And we're off.
Whee! Look at all
Man,
the
this is
friends.
so cool. Yeah, we got a group. And look at the cadence on the toe to bar already. Everyone's kind of differentiating themselves.
Yeah, speed definitely matters. And there are two people doing this synchro.
That's why they're looking in each other's eyes.
I was wondering what they were doing for a second.
We're going to race each other, but we're going to tie.
All right, so we already see different strategies. Mia, Kyle came off the bar. Andy just came off the bar. Lisa's keeping these unbroken. If you did this again, Mia, would you keep them unbroken or are you breaking?
Maybe I would have done the first set unbroken.
Yeah.
Just because it's so long till you get back to it. And for me, I don't think it would have hurt me that much. But I could also be wrong.
So
everything seemed to hurt me in this workout.
What do you mean it hurt you?
Her eyes were already closed on those.
Yeah.
This workout just got grindy.
Yeah. Do you sleep on all your movements or just toes to bar?
Just toast. Yeah.
I would love to be able to sleep on all the movements.
Yeah. I'm going to sleep and avoid the pain. All right, so this is, it's not open workout 24.1 standard. We're back to alternating dumbbell snatches. Anything that you notice different from this, or do you have a preference?
Well, I didn't do the open this year, so
yeah.
I'm not sure.
I like alternating, and I think there's a little more skill to switching your hands and being able to get it back to the ground quickly. But it's nice to have that mix up. I think doing the one arm this year was good.
Yeah, I think this technique, I mean, we saw the change this year for point one. I'm going to stay on the dumbbell snatch for a second, even though we're on box jump. We saw it this year, but just be aware, there's a ton of other qualifiers, ton of other competitions. I don't think the alternating dumbbell snatch is going away. So working the technique of that transition either from the top, right in front of your face, or kind of catching it on the way down are kind of like three different techniques you can use for that dumbbell snatch.
And we're jumping and stepping off boxes. You have to step off for this workout, which we did see in quarterfinals as well.
You think we'll ever go back to the jumping on and off?
In our programs, we still have some bounding work that we do. Usually it's on lower boxes. We want to keep people healthy, make sure there's no risk of an Achilles rupture or something like that. I know that seems extreme.
Oh, Lisa, she's alternating her clean and jerks. Oh, wait, now she's doing them regular.
She realized.
Okay. Somebody caught it.
Someone's like, hey, 5 at a time.
Yeah, so the standard here, alternating dumbbell snatch and then 5s before you transition. So 5 hang clean and jerks and then switch arms. This was actually the standard in one of the open workouts.
2018.
Yeah, 2018. Yep. I actually did that workout and I slept on it. Will was here and he was like, you closed your eyes for almost that whole workout. Yeah.
Yeah, 20-minute workouts like this, you need to be able to pick your pace. We talked about that with our tips segment, but I think everyone's doing a really good job running their own race right now. The first round's always easy to go out too hot, so making sure that if you have a plan to break on the dumbbell especially, actually do that break, and then just get back down, make sure you're breathing comfortably the entire time. The one thing that people risk, I think, in the first round is trying to race someone too soon. And when you're only 3 minutes into a 20-minute workout, everyone knows how that feels when you're 15 minutes in.
Yeah, so Lisa went unbroken on everything and was 3 minutes before she took off on the run. Mia took some breaks, and she was only like 6 to 8 seconds behind. Yeah. So speed of movement and I think urgency and maintenance of pace is going to basically be what dictates this type of, or like who's going to perform well on this workout. Yeah. All right, so they're out at 200 meters. If you run an 8-minute mile pace, they should be back at 4. So somewhere around a minute, I think, would be expected 200-meter pace for. Well,
who's this?
Let me see that. Is he doing the workout? Is he jumping in? This is how he does his 200s. Glad we had something, so I didn't talk over a minute of silence as people are running. You guys lied to me.
I think we'll be back soon.
Yeah, they're coming back.
There they are.
Yeah, so right on it. Right at 8-minute mile pace. I think for, somebody who's an elite individual games athlete on the male side might be running like a 6 to 6:30 minute mile pace. So that's like 45 seconds.
Yeah.
And
there is time to be made up if you're like an elite level runner. Otherwise, it's probably just like a row and a 20-minute AMRAP where you're just trying to find your sustainable pace and then move fast in the other movement.
It's almost like a 5K pace or a little bit slower maybe. If
I was expecting to be able to use the run to catch up more and a little bit on the first round, but after that it was just like not a long enough run to really make that much of a difference.
Yeah. The cycle speed, though, if you pay close attention, now Habdo and Mia look like they're synchro, not on purpose, but the movement speed of every single movement is definitely a separator for people. On toes to bar, you can see it when they're cycling next to each other. This movement, I think, is not as much a separation, but when we get back to the hang, clean, and jerk, if you watch it, like how vertical people stay or how much they hinge over really matters, and over the course of 20 minutes, that really does start to add up in terms of total score.
Yeah.
I mean, I always feel like I lose ground on this movement.
Yeah. You're not short, though.
No.
Right. I mean, that's the name of the game of this sport. I know people were complaining about, for example, workout 2 and quarterfinals and saying, well, that's for a smaller athlete. Yes, it 100% is. And workout 4 is for a bigger athlete. Hopefully they keep leveling it out where everything's balanced. But, like, you got to suck it up sometimes when a workout's not for you and then just come up with a pacing plan that allows you to optimize your own score.
Were you speaking to Kyle Ruth there?
Just anybody that complains about it. I get it. Like, I don't want to see a rowing and wall ball workout if I'm shorter. You know, like that is what it is. But then you just have to work on those weaknesses. So just keep that in mind as an athlete.
I think Andy and I had a little bit of different strategies where he wanted to keep the dumbbells unbroken, and I broke dumbbells from the beginning. We were pretty close throughout this whole workout, but the box jumps were awful, but what I was trying to do is while I was doing them, trying to cycle them kind of quickly, and then if I was not cycling them quickly anymore, just like take a break. And it looks like he's a little more like smooth and just kind of continuously moving through them.
Andy told me that he did this workout and told me not to roast him while he was going.
I thought he crushed it.
He looks great
He
so
did
far.
great.
Yeah, I thought maybe he set low expectations so that I wouldn't.
Right,
Feel but watching him go, I'm like, oh no, he looks like he's moving pretty good. So right now we're 6.5 minutes into a 20-minute workout. So I think this is really kind of like from this time to where maybe the 16-minute mark, I feel like is where people really separate on 20-minute workouts. Everyone can kind of come out fast. Usually people can finish fast when they know the finish line is close, but maintaining your pace kind of in this middle chunk, I think, is where real separation happens for athletes.
That is 100% true. And Mia, I see what you're talking about where you're kind of popping it off your shoulder quickly. Andy's taking a little bit more time. They still look really efficient. Like, he's doing a good job. And there's different strategies here, right? We think movement speed matters, in particular for those that are trying to be at a higher level, an elite level. But as you get into these workouts, if you're brand new to the sport or maybe someone that doesn't have a big base, you're going to have to start by moving a little bit slower and just finding a pace that works for you, and then practicing in like intervals or EMOMs how to be faster, especially with something like a dumbbell.
So Lisa's in the lead. She's off running. She was 3 minutes to finish the first mixed work in the gym, a minute to run, so 4-minute round, and then she was a little over 3 minutes here. I don't know if that's deterioration or maybe transition because you're transitioning getting to the bar, but there probably will be for people a little bit of deterioration. Good pacing on something like this would be trying to hold as close to linear rounds. I don't think it's not like there's a huge bottleneck of handstand push-ups, or maybe the toes to bar will bottleneck intermediates, but I think for most people, they should think pretty close to linear rounds on a workout like this.
Yeah. Your first round's always going to be your fastest just because you are naturally moving a little bit faster. And then with the transition coming back in from the run is going to slow down that split. But I agree with you, Max, that you want to be as linear as possible.
All right, so they should be coming back relatively soon if they ran it at the same speed. And there she is.
Boom.
Look at that.
You're like
predicted.
Nostradamus.
I was just thinking that. The Nostradamus of CrossFit.
She was so impressive with her toes to bar. She just kept them unbroken, nice and smooth, and her transition was pretty good into them.
But this is, so Brandon talks about small sets, short breaks very frequently when we do these. Mia's a good illustration of this because Lisa has went unbroken. Mia has broken everything, and she's only a couple seconds behind on a workout. So you don't need to be doing big unbroken sets all the time. If you can, it's a separator because obviously Lisa's still in the lead. but there are ways to navigate these workouts without having to be a gymnast that can be in round 3 and just hammer 20 unbroken after doing all that work.
Yeah. These movements are a little bit lower level, like barrier to entry. So some people are going to keep them unbroken and just go really fast. Lisa's doing a good job of that. But let's just say that there were handstand push-ups or maybe chest to bars or muscle-ups. Those you have to break, even at the highest level. And so practicing that in training sessions will allow you to be better in a testing session like this.
Did any of these sets, now that in hindsight, like this, either the dumbbell snatch or the hang clean and jerk kind of get hard? It looks like they're just kind of get through them, not as big of a deal.
They got hard, but it was more about setting myself up to not be too slow on the box jumps. So I started, maybe not this set, but the next set, I took an extra break on both of the movements. I tried to keep the break really quick, but just to allow myself to not spill over so I could keep moving on the box jumps, because that's where I was feeling that I was going to fall more and more behind if I started getting really grindy.
Yeah, the speed of the box jump is it's not really the separator. It's the speed of the descent into the next jump when you're doing step off. So if you can maintain that, it doesn't seem like it. Everyone will say, oh, they're slowing them down. But you actually can separate. Like, you know, you might be able to get 4 or 5 reps ahead of somebody if you can step fast versus a slow cadence.
And you can even see the difference here. Like, Lisa's able to get up a little bit faster on most of these. That one was a bad example of it. But, like, she's stepping off quick. Mia, I think you're trying to pace yourself because, you know, you already said it's before the workout, but the box jump was the hardest part for you. It would be by far the hardest part for me. So I would step down slowly like you are.
Yeah. If you want to, if you're a nerd like me maybe, if you watch Andy here in his cycle rate, like he gets down to the ground and then it's kind of like a pause and then a jump. If you go back to round 1 and watch the cycle rate of Lisa, that she was moving a little bit quicker in that set, you can see that basically it's like the feet hit the ground and then you're right back up off the box. Over time, since you're doing, 100 box jumps or something like that in this workout, that actually does separate a good number of seconds and can give you a lead in a workout.
Yeah, it's probably a minute or more, depending on how fast you are.
Yes,
for sure.
5% of the workout,
that
basically.
step down, it gets so hard. I didn't even want to rebound, but I just wanted to jump down so bad.
No, you are not allowed. Yeah, I think we'll continue to see the step down, so it's good practice. And there is a technique to it, especially box jump overs, which we'll have in a future workout, that learning how to step off the box from the side, just like the lateral burpee box jump overs in quarterfinals.
This year in quarterfinals for the step-ups, they did guys and girls to 20-inch box. I'd like to make a petition that we box jump to the same height.
I agree.
Also.
Amen.
20, I would like my standard box jump to be 20 inches, please. No?
No, I'm with you on that.
Okay.
I've always said that.
Oh, really?
That one seems incorrect.
Yeah. It's like, well,
maybe we should have a 22-inch, but the 4-inch difference doesn't make any sense.
That's
to me.
It's a big jump.
Mia's like, you guys just shut up.
And y'all can have an 18, but give us the 20 is all I'm saying.
Yeah, can we start like a movement for that? Me and you? No?
No, I'm down.
Oh, you will.
The people who aren't competing.
Yes. We're going to be the scale division standard.
I just think they got it wrong.
We do workouts for fun, and we want them to be easier.
That's it. I'm jumping to a plate from now on. All right. Now let's be serious.
That was the first round where you really saw kind of the separation and going faster and unbroken and breaking up the sets. And then the movement speed played a big role between Lisa and Mia. Mia, you were still moving fast, but it's just your limbs are longer. So like watching your dumbbell snatch.
I wasn't moving that fast anymore.
Well, you're still moving fast relative to the field.
I was trying to move fast.
Relative to the field, you were moving fast. And so, but when you're doing a clean and jerk, for example, it was taking you probably, I don't know, maybe 0.2 of a second or 1/4 of a second more time than Lisa, and that makes a big difference over 20 reps.
Yeah, this also shows the variation in levels. So Lisa's a semifinal athlete from Australia. I don't know if she qualified this year. No, she didn't finish all the workouts this year. But that is her level, and then this is kind of skill sets that she's pretty good at, lighter movements, fast movement for 20 minutes. Mia is probably at a little bit of a disadvantage from size, but still going to be putting up elite scores. And then you have kind of like, hey, they're very good quarterfinal athletes all in one display. And you can see like Habdo's here, he's still moving, and he's still moving pretty fast. The separation of elite all the way through that 75% is wide, and it happens on workouts like this by just, rest breaks basically accumulating. So keep that in mind as you're kind of setting pace, is that Lisa's going to be putting up a very high level score. Mia's going to be putting up kind of like a sub-tier high level score. And then the other scores are still very high level, but they're going to be more reflective of kind of that high level quarterfinal level.
What were your breaks here on the total bar? Did you keep them the same?
This is the first set that I went 8-7-5. I did 12-8, I think, or I did 2 sets.
Right.
All the other ones.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly what they were, but
Yeah. And was that just to try to preserve grip or something else, or just like you needed to slow yourself down?
it was just like overall fatigue. It wasn't really the toes to bar that I felt like I needed to break more. It was not spilling over just generally into 5 more minutes of this workout.
That's a scary feeling when you know, like, at any point this could happen.
I mean, I felt it in the second round where I was like, you shouldn't have chased Lisa right away. And I mean, I think overall it was probably fine and good for me to do from a training perspective. But if this were like a quarterfinal workout that I was going to retest, maybe I would have started a little slower.
Yeah. Should we also mention that you have the shortest transition, and
I do.
Andy there all the way on the left
Yeah.
is doing
Poor
it.
Andy.
Yeah.
He's doing an extra marathon to try to keep up with you.
I know. I was supposed to
feet.
I was supposed to be the demo for this workout, so I set it up, and then Habdo asked everyone in the gym to do the workout with us, which was great.
Yeah.
But I kept my transition.
Yeah.
It's way more fun with friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Is this the first? Is that the first break that Lisa took? I lost train of thought. Was she?
She paused on a couple box jumps
Okay.
In the last round, but they were still like really fast, and then it was kind of like a bend over, touch her knees for 3 seconds, and then started again.
Yeah. I'd be curious. I'm guessing that we didn't get it, but if that's the hardest part of the workout from her perspective as well. Did
Nope,
you talk to
there's
her
no-
after?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was doing this where she would take like a longer transition between movements, but then go unbroken. Where I tried to move, like get into the next movement right away, but I would take breaks within the movement. So it probably obviously she's going faster overall, but from a transition period or perspective, it probably kind of evened out. She just moved faster than I did within the movements.
There are different athletes that actually respond to that type of strategy differently. Like in the muscle up workout from quarterfinals, some people went and they wanted to take a long break and then take off big chunks and take big breaks, and other people did like 4s across to get to 20.
Yeah.
So same type of thing in a workout like this, even though it's simple. Some people might want to do 20 quick reps and then rest for 20 seconds instead of doing 7, rest 7 seconds,
She's
and
breaking them
multiple
here,
sets.
the clean and jerks.
Oh, you gave us false info.
I had no awareness of anything other than just this is your last set of box jumps.
Suffering
Just-
through the box
just
jumps.
Do it.
Keep up. Don't let Andy catch you.
Yeah, he was on my heels the whole time.
All right, so 17 minutes. That should be the end of round 4, right?
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah, so
When
she
she gets back from the run.
Yeah, when she finishes. So I would say still probably the whole group maybe went out a little hot if the first round was done in 4 minutes, and now end of round 4 will be at 18 minutes, still a decent amount of fall off. So maybe as you're kind of planning this out for yourself, if you're trying to keep up with Lisa's score, you could potentially start a little bit slower and try to maintain cadence all the way through. It's tough to do, but
Yeah. Don't start out too slow, because for a lot of people, they won't be able to maintain even with that.
Yeah, like I was really trying to, during this, thinking of like move fast. So I felt like I was moving fast, but it was just relative to how much fatigue I was under at that point.
yeah.
When it comes to like movement speed.
Did your runs drop off at all? I've been tracking those.
Probably a little bit, but the run felt pretty comfortable throughout. I think this last run was the only one where I felt like I had to like dig in order to not slow
Right.
down. The other ones I felt like, oh, thank goodness,
Yeah.
the run.
You also have been running quite a bit, though, right? You're on some running progressions.
Yeah, and it's just a strength of mine in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, solid. So Lisa pretty much, again, was right around a minute pace. The difference here, I feel like in the earlier sets, she ran up and she kind of like went right to the bar. There's
20
this.
seconds.
We're right on 20 seconds now with this transition. You went out just around 18 minutes. So if you come in around 19, then you kind of maintain pace. So now the camera in the sky.
Yeah.
What do you say? The camera in the sky
The
never
eye-
lies.
The eye in the sky never lies.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll find out now.
That was good, though. What you did was good. I liked it.
tried.
Yeah, the one thing if I'm nitpicking Lisa would be like, look, just run straight over to the bar and do a quick set of 5 or 6 and then grab your chalk after that as opposed to that 20-second rest. It may not seem like much, but if she's racing thousands of people on the leaderboard across the world, that is going to matter. And you want to, especially with a minute and a half left or 2 minutes left, you want to really go.
But she just did that set unbroken again, right? Wow.
Yeah.
That's really impressive to do that deep in the workout. But again, from a time perspective, it might not have been worth it. It might be almost better to go in, transition quick, do 7 chalk, and then finish with a set of 6 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you can take 4 or 5 second rest there, then you save 12 seconds overall.
Yeah. So a minute 15-ish for Mia on that last run, which it is a little bit of a deterioration, but actually still pretty good pace.
And Mia, you did a great job getting right back over to the bar. I think that again, those are the little things that as you become more aware as an athlete, you just need to start pushing yourself, especially in a session like this where, yeah, you want to beat your friends, but does it really matter? There's not like a worldwide leaderboard. So practice it now so you can do it well in the Open or quarterfinals.
Yeah, and to kind of follow up on that. So Mia ran a 1:15, but got right to the bar. Lisa ran a minute, but then took 15 seconds to get to the bar. So from the time you took off till being on the bar is the same amount of time.
Yeah.
It might allow you to run easier if you do that. So something to think about.
Great
All
job,
right.
Chris and Jackie.
And we're
Boom!
done.
Yeah! They were doing synchro. I didn't know what to say.
Great job. We didn't commentate on that because most people do this individually. But if you're a team person, you can go back and watch that with no commentary.
Well done, y'all.
Hard. Like the run to the toaster bar were easy, and then everything else just got hard.
The whole way. It probably was better. It was good. We were talking about, we started off at 8.75, and that might have been a little bit too aggressive on the front. But our immediate backup plan was going to be 8.732. So we're going to have to squeeze out the last 2 reps out of each one and risk a no rep. But I think the round 3, we switched to 6.644. And I think that should have been we should have done that from the get-go if we're going to sink it. But yeah, I think it was still fun.
It was fun. It felt a little grippy for me, but
Andy?
My back blew up.
Really?
Well, those box jumps are no joke, man.
Yeah. How was it?
it was really hard.
Yeah, it was hard, but it was good. I just started training again pretty consistently, so my CrossFit fitness feels not good, but I don't know. I tried to pace Mia for a little bit, and then as soon as she was gone, I was just like, okay, just run your own race and take your breaks when you need to. I tried to keep my breaks to 8 to 10 seconds. I don't know if I did that, but that was my goal. I think I got just under 4. Hell yeah.
It's a wrap, you know what I'm saying? Your boy Project Pata in this thing, man. Hey, look, man, thank y'all for watching Training Think Tank's YouTube channel. Y'all hit that motherfucking subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? So y'all go ahead, man. Thank y'all for watching the channel, you know what I'm saying? Hit that motherfucking subscribe button, let it be known, what it be known, what it be known, you know what I'm saying? Pata.